In today's video, I'll be showing you how to embroider this patriotic toddler tee. Thank you for sticking around. Today we're going to be embroidering a t-shirt using a multi-needle machine. And if you're new here, my name is Shayna from KrauseKreations.com, and I provide you value with creative tutorials and small business advice. So in today's video, we're using our size 8x9 mighty hoops. You can go ahead and take apart the magnets on your mighty hoops. We're going to be using the back part of the hoop today to ensure we have the correct size stabilizer. I purchased all of my stabilizer by the roll. As you see here, I like to buy things in bulk because it's more cost effective for me. I use 3M hooks and 550 cord to attach the stabilizer to the door to help me clear off some table space in my office. So all I do is I take the back part of the mighty hoop and I'll measure it to ensure that I have the right size. We're going to be putting this patriotic heart on the black t-shirt today. So we're going to start off by going over the supplies that you're going to need in today's tutorial. I picked up a black blank t-shirt from Target. We're going to be using our size 8x9 mighty hoops. We're going to be using the back piece to the 8x9 mighty hoops. Fisker's rotary cutter. These are Havel's applique scissors. I like them because they have a curved tip. We're going to be using this blue fabric for the stars, and we're using this red fabric for the stripes, and of course some heat and bond for our applique pieces. I'm the kind of person that likes to print out the design to make sure that I'm not wasting any of my applique fabric. So by printing out the design that I'm not familiar with, it lets me know how much of each fabric I actually need to prepare for applique. Perfect. So if you ever wanted to test to make sure that you cut out the proper sizing for your applique pieces, all you have to do is get your applique fabric that you cut out and put it on top of the design. If it covers the entire design, you know that your applique piece is the perfect size. So now go ahead and whip out your heat and bond. So now we're going to go ahead and measure our heat and bond. You want to make sure that your heat and bond pieces that you cut out are smaller than the fabric. you want to make sure that your heat and bond paper is slightly smaller than your actual fabric so it doesn't get sticky residue on your iron or your heat press. So now we're just going to go ahead and iron out our fabric pieces so that they're nice and smooth. I'm going to be using my Heat Press Nation heat press right now. Alright, so I already went ahead and ironed out this red piece of fabric that we're going to be using for the stripes. Go ahead and put your heat and bond where you want it, and we're going to go ahead and take it over to the heat press. One thing I do want to say before I do this is when you're looking at your heat and bond, you're going to have like a shiny side. One side is shiny and one side is actual paper, so you'll see that the other side feels like it's matte. This side is the shiny, hard, fibrous part. You want to make sure that the sticky side is towards the ugly side of the fabric. The reason why you want to do that is because the sticky side of the heat and bond is the glue. So you just want to make sure by using your heat press or your iron so that it makes our applique nice and stiff. So my heat bond sheet is nice and smooth. So this is my red fabric with the heat and bond applied. So now we're going to go ahead and do the blue fabric. Again, make sure that this is the paper side, and you could feel that it feels like paper. This side feels like some kind of sticky, hard, coarse residue. Make sure that that side is towards the back side of your fabric. Perfect. So now both of our pieces have been appliqued. So for this part, just make sure that after it's cooled down, go ahead and remove the paper from the heat and bond. And this is what it's going to look like now. You could see the shiny side. So basically that's the glue. So now one side of your fabric has glue on it and the other side is the pretty side. If you're looking at the red fabric, you see this side right here has the glue on it. And this right here is the pretty side that we're going to be using for the stripes. So now we're going to go ahead and prepare the t-shirt. This is the patriotic design that we're putting on the t-shirt. There's stars on this side, and this side is supposed to be the stripes. So you have your t-shirt or whatever item that you're going to be using for applique. We're going to go ahead and lint roll it. So at the beginning of this video, we cut out 2 pieces of the cutaway stabilizer. This right here, this is the back of your mighty hoop. This bottom, this part right here, this is going to be towards the ground. The side that has bumps on it, which is used for grips, is going to be towards the ceiling. So go ahead and put your 2 layers of cutaway stabilizer on. What I like to do is you can tell that the way that this was rolled up on the roll, that it was like this. So what I like to do, since I know that it was rolled up on the roll like this previously, I'll go ahead and put this side, you can see the natural curve. I like to go ahead and put that direction. And then again, you can see that the natural curve is like this. I like to turn it upside down so that they're not the same. Okay, I'm going to take the mighty hoop backing part. So what I did is I just took the mighty hoop back part and I just put it on here. The reason why I like the mighty hoop backing is because it keeps your stabilizer from running away from you. See, it's nice and tight. Perfect. All right. So when you're working with the mighty hoop, you always want to make sure that this larger part right here, that's kind of like the lip, is pointing towards your belly. And then you want to make sure that the warning sign, which is here, is always towards the machine. So big part towards the belly. So you just downloaded your embroidery file to your USB. So this is this right here. You're going to plug your USB into your embroidery machine. So go ahead and click on this icon right here that looks like a USB. Now you're just going to scroll down until you find the most recent design that you uploaded to your USB. It says that my pattern is too large, so all I'm going to have to do is rotate it to 90 degrees. So something that a lot of people don't remember is that the orientation that is on your screen is the exact orientation that your machine will embroider. So I know that this is the opening right here. This is the opening of the shirt. This is the bottom of the shirt, right? So when I put this in, when I put my mighty hoop into the machine, I know that it's going to embroider upside down like this. And I know that my shirt is also upside down, so that's exactly how I want it. So now our design has popped up, and now we're going to go ahead and set the colors. So now we're just going to click on this icon right here that looks like a coloring box. So I know that the first step in all the designs is going to be a placement stitch. So we have our stars that are blue. So we're going to go ahead and use the color white for our placement stitch. So we went ahead and made that white. Our next one is going to be the tack down. We're using blue fabric, so we're going to make sure that our tack down for the stars is blue. The next is going to be the satin stitch. And our satin stitch, we want to use white because I want the stars to have a white satin stitch. The next one is going to be the placement for these stripes. We're using a red fabric, so I'm just going to go ahead and use a red placement stitch. I also want a red tack down, red placement, red tack down. And the next one is going to be a satin. We might as well just go ahead and use red as well. The last step is just going to be a bean stitch that's on top of the stripes. And I want that to match the stars. So I'm just going to go ahead and make that white. Whenever you're ready, you're just going to go ahead and hit OK. I'm happy with the way that this design looks. I know that it's going to fit in my hoop because I measured it. I know that it's going to fit in my hoop. And now we're just going to go ahead and hit edit end. So before you start any project, make sure that you take a look at the bobbin. Make sure that you actually have enough bobbin. That looks pretty decent. Now we're going to go ahead and place our t-shirt onto the embroidery machine. So now I'm just making sure that there's no obstructions under the hoop. So we're going to go ahead and hit embroidery. What we're doing right now is we are doing the placement stitch for the white stars. Lock and go. Alright, so now you see that your placement stitch finished. So now go ahead and take your blue fabric or whatever fabric that you choose to use for your stars. All you're doing is making sure that the applique fabric covers up the placement stitches. Once you've gone ahead and put your fabric down, go ahead and hit lock and the green button. So I hope that you can see this now. So you see that we have all the blue stars stitched out with a tack down stitch. Now you're going to take your applique scissors and cut out each star. So we went ahead and cut around the applique that was on our tack down stitch. So now we're going to go ahead and put the white satin on it. Hit lock and hit the green button. So the satin stitch just completed for the stars. Now we're going to go ahead and do the placement stitch for the flag. So at this point, you don't really need to take your hoop out, but I'm going to take it out to show you guys. So this is what it looks like so far. Now we're going to go ahead and put the red fabric down, and it's going to do the tack down. So one really nice feature that I do like about the Baby Lock is push this button right here and it'll make your hoop come out to where you can trim your applique without having to remove the hoop. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that right now. All you have to do is push this button. Hit OK. Now this hoop is going to move out so that you have space to trim your applique. I do need to take it out though. I went ahead and took the hoop out because I need just a little bit more space. So this is how far we are now. We're going to put this back on the machine and we're going to finish our red satin stitch. Once you hit OK, that means that it's ready to be moved back into the position that it was in before we moved it out. Alright, and now we're ready for the red satin stitch. We're going to go ahead and hit lock and OK. I think we just ran out of bobbin. Go ahead and hit lock and cut. That, my friend, is an empty bobbin. No problem. Let's go ahead and replace it. All you have to do, put the magnet in. See the little groove thing right here? All you have to do is pull your string right through the groove. And we're good to go, people. Let's roll. Put your bobbin back in. If you happen to have a little tail on your design, you can always get your snips. Just cut that right off. Hit lock. And go. so now your shirt is complete and you're going to go ahead and remove it from the mighty hoop. Turned out pretty cute. Alright, so now you can go ahead and turn your shirt inside out. Your shirt's inside out now. You're just going to use the scissors to cut off the extra cutaway. So this is what your shirt's going to look like now. Go ahead and grab your product called Tender Touch. You want to use this because you don't want the stabilizer or any of the back stitches to irritate the child. Go ahead and open that up. Use your Tender Touch, and just like the Heat and Bond, there is a sticky side and there's a smooth side. So just go ahead and measure out. So this is what you want it to look like. You have your Tender Touch covering your stitches and your shirt is inside out. Now we're going to go ahead and move to the heat press. I really like this pull-out drawer. It makes removing your heat pressed items so much easier. I'm just going to go ahead and heat press it for about 10 seconds. Go ahead and turn your shirt inside out or right side out. Love it. This turned out so cute. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching. Ding, rock and rock and rock, rock.
Please like and subscribe.
And bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Oh, God.
Thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
We would love for you to please like and subscribe.
Okay? Bye. No.